20,000 meals a year to these people. And so they become very dependent on it. So we need to make sure we can continue doing this. And also we find that there's a greater need than there really is out there, that people aren't even aware we're there. So we're trying to get some publicity out to make sure that everybody knows that we have the availability to serve them and help them out if they really need it. We charge generally $4 to $5 a meal for each person, and we send them a monthly bill. But if they don't pay it, we don't charge them. We don't go after it. So it's free to them if need be. So again, we need lots of donations, a lot of help to get us there to reach our goal. And again, Joe Buck last year provided, I think, approximately $13,000 by the Babbakahan and Goo Banks, and they did a great service for us, and we really appreciated that. So we deliver meals on Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays of every week, somewhere between 11 and 2 o'clock in the noon hour. And it's just a great opportunity for us to see the people, to see what their situation is, to see if they need any additional help. I think some of you remember the story I gave a few years ago about knocking on, because I'm a driver also. And so I knocked on one of the participants' door and I didn't get an answer. And I knocked again and still no answer. And so I went back, called him up, and he still didn't answer. But when I was at the door, I heard a little jingling sound. And I just heard a little bit of noise. And so I figured that something needed to happen. So I immediately tried his door, and luckily it was open, and found this gentleman on the floor, and he couldn't get up. And so I immediately tried to help him get up, and then we called 911, and within a few minutes, 911 showed up and helped him out, and probably saved him. And so, you know, that's part of the purpose of us going and knocking on the doors and delivering meals, is to make sure everybody is okay. A lot of the participants only see us, and that's the only person they see, you know, during the day. So it's a good situation for us. It's a good situation for them. But again, we have to raise usually close to $100,000 now a year in order to take care of all these meals. And one of the fundraisers, of course, was the chamber. As most of you know, that we usually have quarterly fundraisers for different nonprofit organizations. And every October, we've been able to do that for the Meals on Wheels program. So, and I think last year we raised a little over $1,000 there. So that's a definite benefit too. The New Seasons grocery store is still going to be able to collect donations for us. They're not going to allow any of us to stand at the door and ask for donations, but they're going to still collect donations during the term. And so that's another means. And so if you go to New Seasons, you can always just add a few cents to your bill. We're hoping Dino's has been very great in helping us out, and hopefully they'll participate again. We appreciate them. And then let's see what else. Oh, and then we have a new fundraiser that we're kind of excited about, and it gives many of you the opportunity, and you might want to talk to your friends and neighbors about this one. And this is where we have over 10 local wineries that have been willing to donate cases of wine for the Meals on Wheels program. So we have received over 72 cases of wine ready to give to our participants. And you can all join us, and if you're interested, and if you like wine, or you want wine to give away to your neighbors and relatives and during the holiday season, we have this opportunity. So if you are interested, or any of your friends and neighbors might be interested in wine, for $500 you can get a full case of wine. And these are the wine sponsors that we're getting from. And again, Directors Mortgage is involved in this too. So they're they're definitely willing. And then Baldwin Market and Parlor, that's their new name down on A Street there. And they're the ones that helped us gather all these different wineries to help us out. So you can go and make a $500 donation and get a case of wine. If you're only interested in half a case of wine, $250, and then that becomes a direct donation to the Meals on Wheels program. We have already, you know, without advertising this, you basically are the first to see this. There's posters and flyers, and but in the meantime, we've already sold approximately 30% of the wines already, you know, there. So it's already becoming a very popular means of getting wine and making a donation at the same time. Everybody that makes a donation will get a letter saying you made a donation to a nonprofit organization, and then it's up to you and your tax advisor to see what kind of benefit you can, how you can use that. Basically, that's a general idea of what our Meals on Wheels program is. In the meantime, the real estate market is going crazy. If you're a seller, you're in a great position because the inventory is low, and so we need a lot more sellers because there's a lot of buyers out there. And what is scary though, the prices are really going up. So you can, you know, if you have a house and you want to sell it, make some good money, it's a good time. But then where are you going to go? That's the other problem. But it's a great market. Interest rates are unbelievable. One of my clients got 2.5% interest the other day, and you just can't beat that. So in the meantime, you can buy a higher value home and for a lower price because of the interest rates. So talk to your friends and neighbors if they're interested in selling or moving. Let us know. We're willing to help them out. So I'm open to questions for anybody that is interested in mentioning the Meals on Wheels program. Let's talk.
Fantastic. Well, thank you, Lyn, for sharing with us this morning. Does anybody have any questions that's on this call? If you'll raise your hand, I'll call on you. I do not see, Kay, I see your hand up.
They can hear you. I was just wondering about how we can get the wine. Where do we go to get it? The adult.
We will have I think it's designated on that flyer, but we will have 2 days, 2 days that we will have a pickup at the Adult Community Center.
Oh, okay.
And so we'll have 3 or 4 hours on a Saturday, and then we'll have another day in the day and evening that you can come by and pick it up.
Okay, thank you.
There's a day, September 19th and Tuesday the 22nd are the times. So it's really a great, and some of the bottles of wine that are going to be available, you don't have a choice, it'll just be a random selection, but are up to $50 a bottle. So you're really getting your money's worth if you make a donation like that in a couple different ways. So
all right, well, sounds like then we'll be having a party at Kay's house. All right, Cassandra, I saw your hand up.
Yeah, I was just wondering, even if we don't want to buy wine, can we go to the Meals on Wheels website and just make a donation? Is there a spot there to do that?
I was waiting for you to ask that question. Yes, yeah, it is definitely there. It's the same website. You'll see there. You can make a donation, individual donations from $1 to 100,000. The higher the better. At the same time of getting wine if you want, or you could go ahead and get the wine and give it to your neighbor or friends too. It's a good gift for your clients.
So Lyn, we always we at Blue Moon Coffee always buy a table every year at Beer Brats and Bingo.
Yes.
And that's how you get the donation from us. Yep. Is the normal way through food and drink. I had heard rumor that you're going to do a virtual BBB this year. Is there any word of a virtual Beer Brats and Bingo?
I haven't heard of that yet. It would be fun if we could do it.
Right.
But I haven't heard specifically of that being mentioned.
Excellent. All right. Any other quick questions before we thank Lyn for sharing with us today about Meals on Wheels? and what's going on in the real estate business and his business right now. All right, well, if you have any questions, please reach out to Lyn directly. We'll put his information in the chat, how you can get in touch with him. Now I'd like to move on down our agenda, and it looks like, I don't think we have anybody new people here today, but we do have a couple people who haven't joined us for virtual networking before. Ashley, do you want to come off mute and introduce yourself and what you do?
Sure, thank you. Yeah, I haven't joined you guys yet virtually. I'm Ashley McCardle. I'm with Clackamas Women's Services. I'm the development coordinator there. I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with our organization, but we are a nonprofit here in Clackamas County that serves survivors of domestic and sexual violence. We are still helping people through this COVID-19, even though our shelter isn't open. We were able to relocate and rehouse all of our participants into emergency housing, and we are providing them with food every week. In fact, we have a partnership with Hacienda and the Portland Mercado, and they are preparing meals for our participants each week too. And then we are doing all of our services virtually. We were able to actually start doing counseling online, which we've been actually wanting to do for a long time. And we've created a chat, text chat for survivors to reach out during this time. And we have opened our Family Justice Center to limited capacity in order to have our video courtroom open for restraining orders, and some of our advocates do work on site and virtually. So thank you for letting me give a little update. It's great seeing everybody.
Well, great seeing you today, Ashley. Clackamas Women's Services and Ashley have been great partners to work with as we've done fundraisers during the last year at the Chamber. So thanks for being a great Chamber partner. Let's see, Sandy, good morning. I haven't seen you on a Friday morning virtual networking. Would you like to say a few words about your business?
Sure. I always have a Friday morning problem. It's a popular time for my clients. I'm an executive coach and consultant, and with people traveling, typically Mondays and Fridays are pretty busy for me. So I work with leaders in small and medium-sized businesses, strengthen their leadership skills and build stronger teams. And I work with my husband and partner, Pat. And so I was excited to be able to see a clear calendar this morning because with the long weekend, a lot of people are out and about. And I'm really excited about hearing what Joe has to say. And I love Meals on Wheels. And I just donated, Lyn, but it just went to donate and I didn't even put my information in. So I'm going to contact them. I guess they can figure out from my PayPal who made the donation. But yeah, I'm just excited to be on. And
well, thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Well, great, Sandy. Great to see you today.
Nice to see you too.
Sandy, good to see you today. Say hi to your husband for me. I got to work with him when we were together in Leadership Lake Oswego. Yep. So that was fantastic. So nice to see you today.
Yep.
I don't see any other first timers here. I do want to give a shout out to Back in Line Chiropractic. I see the fine doctor is here this morning. We did a ribbon cutting there a couple days ago. And that was such a great event for him to welcome us to his business there. If you haven't been there yet, just to take a tour, you should go in. I was amazed at how large their office is. I had no idea that square feet was down there. And they've done a beautiful job remodeling it. So if you get an opportunity, stop by and say hello to the group there at Back in Line Chiropractic. They're on 2nd Street. Right near the Chrisman Art and Frame Gallery. So reach out to them and say hello. Barbara Dawson, I see you're with us this morning. Would you like to go off mute and say good morning?
Yeah, thank you. Good morning, everybody. I would never, ever miss one of Lyn's Meals on Wheels events. So I'm really happy to be here, and we will make our donation as usual. So hi, everybody.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Thanks, Barbara. Well, with that segue, we announced a couple weeks ago, the Chamber has invited one candidate per week to talk for 2 or 3 minutes about their candidacy for a seat in the upcoming Lake Oswego elections. And this morning, we have Joe Buck with us. Joe, I have the opportunity to work side by side with here at the Chamber. He is the Chamber's treasurer. He's also involved in many other Chamber events like the Village Basket program. He generously donates a breakfast for 60 people one morning of the year after we go hang those baskets. Also involved in so many things in the Lake Grove area where his businesses are currently located. So I just want to say a great welcome to a great local business person, community partner, Joe Buck. If you want to take the floor for 2 or 3 minutes, tell us about your campaign, that would be great.
Thanks, Julia. Good morning, everyone. It's so great to be here. I'll be taking a Lyn Brokaw 2 to 3 minutes, so see you at 9. Lyn made a good point. He said I was on the menu this morning. I am here to hopefully get all of us around the table, because of course, if we're not seated at the table, we are in fact on the menu. And as leaders in the local business community, we want to make sure that we have a strong voice. And I think as so many of us are seeing right now, as we deal with COVID and work to keep our employees safe and our customers safe and our businesses going, then now more than ever, we need that perspective of local business, local employers in our government. That firsthand experience is critical. I think we see many of the decisions coming down now that just are not necessarily workable. And so I look forward and have in the past enjoyed bringing that perspective to our local government. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm a Lake Oswego native. I grew up here, and now I got into my family's business, a restaurant business, and owned Goo Banks, the restaurant that my grandparents and then parents owned, and now I own, and then also have Babica Hen. And then we're excited to soon be opening Lola's Cafe Bar in the same building there, the Beacon, where now the Chamber is housed. And so I'll get to see Liz coming in every morning. It's going to be her everyday stop for the best latte, and actually the second best latte, because we cannot forget Blue Moon, which, Liz will have to divide her time. It would be difficult decisions. And so I've been off the council now for 2 years. So I served 4 years on the council, and I love my restaurants. I love doing hospitality work, but public service is really what's in my heart, and I value the strength of us all working together and running for mayor because I love this city that I grew up in, and I really believe in all of us here. I want to bring a forward-thinking perspective to our city's leadership, to make it a community that sees the immense value that diversity adds, and to make Lake Oswego a true leader in sustainability. I would like to lead LO to be a place that current residents, current business owners, people that work and travel through LO can thrive in, and also a Lake Oswego that our future generations will be proud of and want to return to and make a home for themselves. So to touch on, if I can, just unless that was enough of an intro, could I touch on a couple thingies? Okay. Part of my future vision, and I think it's a shared vision among so many of us for Lake Oswego. I'll start first with, of course, our the business community. Recently, the Chamber has embarked on a good partnership with the city, and as mayor, I'd like to see that partnership fortified even more. I think we have real opportunity for the Chamber to elevate its position within the community, and it be through a strong partnership with the city the better amplify the voices of all of us here in business owners in LO, and also do a better job of recruiting more diverse types of businesses, and especially reaching out to minority-owned businesses and women-owned businesses, and helping to make those connections that because we all know Lake Oswego is a great place to do business. But in general, as a community, I think we can do a much, we have an opportunity to make Lake Oswego more accessible in general to a wider variety of people to come and live here, and also to do business here. And sometimes it's as simple as just having those, opening the door and providing some tools to make that happen. I think the Chamber can play a big role on the business side in helping us achieve those goals. I'd like to see LO again on the aside from business becoming a more accessible community. I think we have lots of opportunity. The city has kind of taken first initial steps, but it's really important that we attach action to our words. I'd like to create, we have a temporary diversity, equity, and inclusion task force that I would like to make a permanent task force with its members empowered to look at all city services and make sure that everything the city is doing is responsive to the needs of the diverse residents that live here. Our city communications and publications should also be put out in languages and through communication channels that are responsive to the different languages spoken in the households here. We are a really diverse community. We have different people of different national origins, ethnic groups, and that speak different languages living in LO, and the city needs to be responsive to that. And a key component is also adding diverse people, as so many seniors, like a lot of options for people who have invested, so many decades in retirement. So housing types will help both our seniors and also create in LO for a greater diversity of people, including people who teach in our schools, people that work in businesses like mine and businesses like all of yours. And I'd also, LO has a real opportunity in these years to come to be a true regional leader in sustainability. We are both a residential community and a business community that highly values sustainability. We've seen it time and time again. Our Clackamas County Leaders in Sustainability program was so popular amongst our businesses that Clackamas County had to stop certifying Lake Oswego businesses to concentrate on, businesses in other parts of the county, because we're the only ones who had such large participation, which is great. So we have an opportunity to continue that program here, just even in our local community, and peer-to-peer get more businesses certified as leaders in sustainability, providing them the tools, to lead a more sustainable life, and the same on the residential side. I'd like to see the proliferation of EV charging stations throughout the city. We have spots and access to them. One opportunity is multifamily housing. If someone living in multifamily housing, aside really from the Windward, is a newer building, there's no opportunity for people to charge cars. So I have car chargers here at the restaurant, and the city has them at different locations, and people actually who live in multifamily and don't have access will come and park their cars at night to charge them. So I think it would be a good thing to have a more accessible network of electric vehicles. Yes. Oh, okay. Oh, all right.
So your video is a little choppy there for a minute. You guys must be real busy at the restaurant there, turning on all the waffle makers at the same time.
It is, yeah. It's this new wireless waffle technology.